And we're live. What's up, everybody? How's it going? How are you?
I'm here.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Yeah, you had a weird afternoon.
I did. And then Texas Toast video makes me think it should be Friday, and it's not Friday.
Oh, yeah, because they did their reveal thing differently. Yeah. And then, well, in the off-topic hour, we'll have to tell you this story of why it was a weird afternoon, because it was dumb when apps don't do their jobs. When apps don't do their jobs, 5. Sorry. 9. At 9. Anyway, welcome to the Dylan Talks Tone Q&A live stream. So we do this in 2 parts. We do guitar Q&A. You can ask any question you want about guitar stuff, and we will try to answer it. If you use a super chat, we will drop what we're doing, and we'll answer that question right away. We also have some questions that came in from our friends over on Patreon. We like to thank our Patreon supporters and our YouTube join button supporters down there, because they make a lot of this stuff happen. Between that and super chats, that's what keeps the YouTube channel rolling. So thank you very much to everybody who does that stuff. And if you have a question, get it in there. We don't have a huge subject tonight, but we're going to talk about guitar stuff until 9 o'clock. And then at 9 o'clock, we're going to get off topic. And as you can see by the thumbnail, I actually made the thumbnail more about the off topic hour than I did about the on topic hour. Because people really want to know about this stuff. The last question is off topic in our section over here. Okay. So if you don't have a guitar question, come up with one, put it over there, or use a super chat. We're going to go over some of these Patreon and member ones. And maybe that'll give you an idea. Maybe that'll like get the juices flowing for the old guitar questions.
Where did it go? Rusty posted a thing, and it made me think, like, I read it in Dwight Yoakam's song. He said guitar's alien starbilly music. So I read it in the Dwight Yoakam song. Anyway.
That's funny.
That's what my brain does.
Ooh, and we got more tickets. So we'll have to tell you about that in the off-topic hour too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we'll have to. That's music related, but we'll tell you about that in the off-topic hour after 9 o'clock. Patrick
already got you. Dylan got your email.
I did. Should be handled. That's all automated stuff, so that should be handled and should be sorted out. Thanks to everybody that bought a T-shirt today. A few people bought T-shirts today, which is pretty cool.
All the same T-shirt?
All the same T-shirt.
Sweet.
Yeah. And I was really proud of that one because that's actually my art. I actually made that. I took that from a photograph and then turned it into a piece of art. And I think at some point it's going to end up as a painting on my wall. Like I'm going to get it done on a canvas. But it's on a T-shirt. So, since I'm a motorsports freak.
You could put it on available to be purchased on a canvas now.
We could.
On the website.
I suppose we could, yeah. Yep. Well, let's get into some guitar questions.
Sure.
Since that's why we're here.
Is that why we're
It
here?
is why we're here. It's what we do.
All right, Doc. Oh. Hello, Leslie and Dylan. Happy National Scotch Day.
So stop you right there.
Pause.
I saw that earlier, and even though I am intermittent fasting and should have stopped eating at 5 o'clock because I don't want to eat until tomorrow, till tomorrow, I am going to ruin that today because it is National Scotch Day because he saw that.
So what are you drinking before?
So this is just some Talisker. Talisker is kind of the bottle I keep around for whenever I just want some. Doesn't have to be super special, just a 10-year, But yeah.
Awesome. Dylan.
Yeah.
Does a traditional Filtertron have a magnet that is 1/4 inch thick? That's the one question.
Yes.
I recently helped a friend put a StewMac kit together, and the magnet seemed to be a regular size humbucker P90 bar magnet. I would think that this would not sound like a real Filtertron when assembled, just a weak humbucker. Thoughts?
So it's interesting because Filtertrons do have a I believe they're 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch. It's like, maybe not. Maybe it's 1/4 by half. They're really thick though. And they are a sand cast, non-polished magnet. And they are a weird shape, and what they do is, because the way a Filtertron is constructed is the screws, it's not like a humbucker where like the humbucker is dimensionally stable and then you put the screws through it. That black plate that you see on the top of a Filtertron is actually the retainer plate that the screws go through and it holds the bobbins towards it, and then the magnet sticks up in between the screws. It's a really weird construction. It kind of all slides together and holds together like by friction almost. Because the bottom has this weird thing too. Anyway, yeah, it's a weird pickup, and the one that you got is probably some sort of, I don't want to say imitation, but some of the cheaper kits don't have the legit parts, if that makes sense, and that could be why.
And I have no idea what that says.
Me either, because Dawn always comes up with interesting lingual.
Yeah, I have no
things
idea, Don. I don't know how to say it. I wouldn't
from
even
his travels
pretend to know how to say it. So if you would like to explain it to me with phonetically how to say it and what it means, that would be awesome. Did I have a super chat come in?
Oh, thanks for the super chat.
Super chat from Polyphonic Groove. Thanks for the super chat. When installing 2 humbuckers, does it matter if the screw side is facing north on the neck and south on the bridge? Is there a difference in tone from the screw side versus the slug side?
There theoretically is a difference between the screw side and the slug side tone because the thickness of the pole is different. However, it is splitting hairs to try to hear that sound. And if you, I happen to have, because we make them here, so I happen to have a bunch around, a humbucker. Typically, so this is a neck position humbucker. Typically, the screws go towards the neck, and then on the bridge side, they go towards the bridge. And that's why this is, so if this was a bridge, it would come out the bottom. That's why it's specific to neck. If you flip it around like this, it will not hurt anything. You could put them any way you want, and it won't be a problem. Because remember that the phasing, because this is always the big question, the phasing is actually which way the magnet is flipped in the pickup in relation to the wind direction. So this doesn't play with any of that. I would recommend flip it. See, if you have enough cable length to just go like this in the guitar and just turn it around and, you know, run the cable back behind there like that. Let me know what you think. Does it sound different? Subtle, but not enough to, like, if you got a bunch of parts in your drawer and you just want them to be, you're just trying to use this pickup and it only goes in there one way or something, don't worry about it.
Doc says it's cheers in Gaelic.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Why does he know these things?
I don't know.
I mean, there's some people in this chat every week that I'd be like, can you be on my trivia team?
I know. And not to mention, just to have dinner with them, like, they know neat stuff.
I mean, Doc better have dinner with me soon.
He will. Thanks for the super chat.
Thanks for the super chat, Van Shank Guitars.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah.
I interrupted your sound and the announcement, but thank you. He said he's sipping a smooth Signal Hill.
Ooh, nice.
And I think Doc, somewhere. I'm having some Singleton. That's what Doc
cool.
said. Scroll. Super chat from Corey Forgrave.
Corey.
Thank you for the super chat, Corey. He says, I recently opened up a broken 500K pot and am curious of what part of it makes it a 500K. What part would be different on a 250K?
Excellent question. It's the resistance of the carbon streak. So I don't know what brand you broke apart. We should do a video about this. I should just break them apart and show people what's inside. So when you break it apart, there'll be like a printed circuit board looking thing, and it'll have like a tab of carbon, black carbon coming up like your finger, and then it have like an omega sign of carbon coming around the outside. The center one is around the outside. The center one is the center lug, and the two outsides are the outsides of that carbon. That carbon is the resistor going around the outside. So when it's thinner, it could be thinner or thicker, and it also could be thinner or thicker, the film thickness of it. But anyway, the resistance of that black circle is the difference in resistance of a pop. Yep.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody ask that question.
Nope. That's a great question. It's really inspired me to do a video because
I'm going to interrupt you again.
Taking that apart.
Super chat from Polyphonic Groove again.
Thank you.
I love that name.
Groove. I like it
it's
too.
It's like a logo too, so I don't know if it's like a band or a
Yeah, maybe we should go check out his YouTube channel, everybody.
P.S. Love the P90s I got from you. Installed them in my Paranormal Stratasonic, and they sound awesome.
Oh, dude, thanks. Thank you. I have to say, I appreciate everybody leaving reviews on the website. It's been awesome. Most of them have been 5-star. A couple of them have not. And it's made me... I'm posting them anyway, even if they're not 5. Because I'm like, oh, maybe that's a thing I need to improve. You know what I mean? So thanks a lot for everybody that's been doing that. But make them all 5. That'd be helpful.
I got people saying Eminem in the comments.
Everybody's singing Eminem in the comments? Mm-hmm. Excellent.
All right.
I'm glad we're having a good effect on them.
Whoop, just kidding. Thought we was moving on. These are my favorite. This is a super sticker from Patrick Hardy. Thank you, Patrick. He says, pair character doing a classic mic drop. So there's the picture. It's so funny. I don't even know if it's supposed to, but he always looks like he has a sweatband on.
He does, like he's
like
exercising.
Does pairs wear sweatbands? I don't mean do they drop mics either. I don't know. I don't know why I'm worried about a sweatband if he has a microphone.
That's pretty funny.
Corey Forgrave says, thanks, it was an Emerson Pro Pot. I tried to open a Seymour Duncan, but it is built to not be opened by a mortal. You know what that means? It means a toddler could open it.
Right. The Emerson Pro Pot's a CTS, so yeah, cool.
All right.
I'm
trying.
I see what you're doing. Cool.
Already did that one. All right, Robert. Hello, Leslie, Dylan, and friends. I didn't read that in the right cadence. Hello, Leslie, Dylan, and friends. Except there's not an extra comma, so it's like Leslie, Dylan, and friends. So maybe we're not friends. All right, I'm home after 3 weeks. A funny myth to bust popped up today. Thomas is Thoman. Thoman?
Thoman, it's the Guitar Center of Europe. Okay.
Thoman is quoting Derek Trucks that if you play 10 different LPs, the lighter one will sound better. I guess I could sound better on a lighter guitar if I had been playing a 12-pound one for 2 hours. Maybe. That's weird.
I don't care.
So Derek Trucks said this?
Yeah. I don't care what famous people say about guitars, first of all. Second of all, I mean, I am the 6,500,000,000th best guitar player in the world. But I still have an opinion. You know. I was listening to a podcast.
I'm trying to swallow it.
I was listening to a podcast this morning, or yesterday, and he says that he's the 7th greatest skater in the world, and that's why you should pay attention to him. And I'm like, and then his co-host said, well, I'm the 7 billionth greatest skater in the world. And I'm like, yeah, I'm the 6.5 billionth greatest guitar player Anyway, so I have experience playing some guitars, and I will say that I don't like heavy guitars. I don't like totally resonant bro guitars either. I just want them to feel good when I play them, and I want them to be light enough that they don't hurt my back or give me like bra strap burns from the strap, because they can do that. They're heavy. They can be heavy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really care. I like a lighter guitar, but not for any tonal reason. I just think that the more comfortable you are, the better you're going to play it. It's like wearing it's like, I don't know, a motocross helmet or motocross boots. Like, if they're not comfortable, you won't be fast. Like, you have to be comfortable, or you won't be fast. If you're not comfortable with the guitar, you won't be good. And so that's what I care about. I don't think it has anything to do with tone.
Robert says he just sent the myth on light guitars for a smile. So.
Oh.
Maybe he was trying to bait you or get you to laugh, or.
Oh, I think it's great.
I don't know.
No, it's an interesting thing to think about.
So who's Thomann? Who is that?
Thomann is like the Guitar Center of Europe.
So it's a store. It's a brand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But they're so big. They're like Guitar Center in the sense that they have. So, Mitchell is Guitar Center's little generic-y brand for $200.
Yeah.
Harley Benton is Thomann's generic house brand.
So how come they like stand on their own versus?
Because they own them, but they're marketing them as their own brand.
Huh. But the other company doesn't.
Yeah, like Mitchell is just at Guitar Center. But I'm pretty sure. Am I wrong in saying that Harley Benton only comes from Thomann, or do they come from somewhere else too? I don't know, because I'm obviously, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
All right. Charles. Good evening, Leslie and Dylan. I just wanted to say thank you. I don't know what we're being thanked for. I do know we were just talking about dinner. He responded and said he's had dinner with us before and would do it again. Doc didn't respond, so he's ignoring me apparently.
He might be doing something important, like drilling someone's
Maybe.
tooth.
Time is closing in, though. I mean, it's supposed to be like very soon.
We're going to see them next weekend. Not this coming weekend, but the following weekend. Yeah.
Can't ignore me.
Mm-mm.
All right. Rob F. Happy Thursday evening, Leslie and Dylan. On a recent video, Dylan mentioned a possible future Roast Your Rig video. Will it be possible to submit one's rig without having to use Facebook?
I think we are going to try to figure out how to do this with Google Forms this time. Can they submit an image?
I don't know.
I know they can, because
That's how other people do it?
that's how I got the idea, is from Best Damn EDC, and he does it like that.
Well, I create a lot of Google Forms, so if it can be done, we can do it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'll figure out a way.
Or we'll just let you email us, Rob.
Nah, I'm going to try to figure out a way that everybody can do
you
it.
don't figure it
Yeah,
out.
we'll figure it out. There's technology.
Well, yes, there is. Yeah, you just have to pick a time so that everybody has time.
Yeah, it's going to be probably when we get back from Colorado.
All right. Not the last one, right?
Nope, because the last one is after hours question.
Okay.
So does that mean we're moving over into comment section questions?
I don't know. Do you have any? Angel Raven 444 says, let's just skip the guitar mumbo jumbo and get with the aliens.
Yeah, we can't do that. We have to talk about guitar stuff first. I mean, we get to talk about guitar stuff first.
Wow. Yuri says, is Thomann's brand? Yes.
That's what I thought. I was pretty sure of that.
What? Jason Gale? He said, he didn't say this, but I'm going to say, heck yeah, I made it again. Hello from Dominican Hospital, Santa Cruz.
Oh, dang.
I feel like he told us.
He was working on some health stuff last week.
Or
But
the
he
week
did send me a
before?
picture of his olive wood tree cut down, and he said it was really hard to cut.
I bet.
Yeah.
There's a lot of chaos out there. Super chat from Doc Siltonen. He said, nope, not ignoring you. Cooking some Indonesian style noodles with broccoli slaw as the veggie component. Don't you worry. We will definitely be having dinner together in Denver.
Excellent.
Now I want some. I don't even know what Indonesian noodles are. Sounds good though.
I don't know.
Thank you for the super chat, Doc. I don't know if I said that. I was too busy laughing that I called you out. Sorry
I
about
wonder
that.
if they're Kramer or Schechter Indonesian noodles. Or PRS.
All right, you want some?
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, stage 4 colon cancer. Yes,
Oh,
I
that's
did know
right.
that. But he said he just got readmitted due to COVID. So you got COVID on top of
Oh.
trying to stay on top of your health? I mean, thanks for being here, Jason.
Yeah. You're hardcore, dude.
Wow. Anyway. All right. Patrick Hardy says he emailed 2 times and he got it wrong. He needs a medium, not a large.
I got it.
And he said autograph it too, going into a frame.
The problem is that I don't...
Yeah, it's third party.
It's third-party printing. We don't see them.
So, no autograph.
No.
Rusty, what is your opinion on using solid pins and slotting the bridge on an acoustic guitar?
I don't really experiment with that much. Typically I use whatever. Okay. To be fair, my carbon fiber guitars are pinned, but they are graphite pins, and they are made to go in that guitar. All 4. I have 4 carbon fiber guitars, and they're all like that. My wooden guitars, my good wooden guitar is a Breedlove, and it doesn't have pins. It's like a Telecaster. It's like a top loader Telecaster. It goes through the back of the bridge. So I don't have them. So I don't really have any say in it. I have experimented with different materials of pins, but I can't give you I don't have enough experience. Because I don't typically mess with it. If it works, it works, kind of thing. I'm not when it comes to electronics, yeah, I'm experimenting with pickups and pots and that kind of stuff. When it comes to, these fancy aftermarket, parts are here, and now you can put it in you can have bridge pins, or you can have this fancy kind of whatever, and it's supposed to give you more tone. I don't really mess with that stuff. I mess with electric stuff. I should, though. Maybe we should get some more of that stuff around here and do videos on it. Since I don't have any experience with it, that might be a good idea, because I haven't really cared that much. I mean, cars and motorcycles and bicycles and guns and all those kinds of things, I'll buy all the little bits and bobs and alloy pieces and titanium bolts and stuff, even if it doesn't do anything, because it's cool. But I don't do that with guitars that much, if that makes sense.
Vox Guitars Rock says, I sometimes see humbucker size P90s.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone make P90 size humbuckers?
Does the Creamery make those? And does Tim McNelly at McNelly Pickups make those? I would go to Tim McNelly at McNelly Pickups. I bet he does. And he's a good person. And makes really good pickups.
Super chat from Van Shank Guitars. Thank you, Ivan. He says Driftwood Guitars has good info on bridge pins.
Good to know.
Advancing, learning all over the internets.
Maybe I should. Maybe I should go ahead and get something that has pins in it and do all those goofy experiments. Not goofy, but you know what I mean? All those experiments on all those little things, because I just don't do it.
Travis McCartney, I put a parts caster together and drilled the pick guard holes about 2 millimeters too close to the bridge. I don't want to fill the holes and re-drill. Can I route a little bit off the pickup cavity to fix it?
As long as you can't see it from the outside, I don't know why you wouldn't be able to. Yeah.
Let other people say their thoughts too.
Yeah, unless I'm visualizing that wrong.
2 millimeters too close to the bridge. So I think he's just saying shift a pickup?
If you shift the pickup, that'll change how the guitar sounds for sure, but you could also recut the pick guard and shift the pick guard back. You can do that too.
Because he cut holes in the guitar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you reshape the pick guard, then you could just move it back a little bit, but that would look funny too.
Mm-hmm.
Post a picture of that in the Facebook group, and let's look at that some more. Those are the kinds of things that Patreon Hangout at the end of the month is good for too, because we can all talk about it and see it.
People are in here talking about aliens, so you want to set the tone for people who are new that you just attracted with aliens, apparently?
Oh, yeah. So at 9 o'clock, we're going to talk about aliens after we talk about guitar stuff for about a half an hour. Yeah, because it's some kind of hot search topic right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't think about that. But welcome to our guitar hangout, and we're going to talk about aliens at 9 o'clock.
All right. SF. Dylan, are you going to have an E.T. or Marvin the Martian pickup?
No.
Which one would you pick?
Oh, Marvin the Martian all the way. Heck yeah. E.T.'s dumb. I have no reason for E.T. Because...
So you have reason for Marvin the Martian?
Well, yeah, because he was... Yeah, I do. I have more, like, childhood connection to Marvin the Martian than I do to E.T.
Same.
Yeah, I don't care about E.T. I thought E.T. was stupid, and I thought that if there was going to be an alien movie, it wasn't going to... Or if there was going to be an alien, it wasn't going to be like that. And, you know what I mean? Like, I just knew that it wasn't like that. I think aliens are going to be more like Alien.
I don't think I've seen any of these movies, so I have no opinion.
Or Independence Day.
What's the Men in Black and all those dumb movies?
Pew!
That used to be the thing, man. There was like a new one every summer.
Uh-huh. For 2 years.
That was like, it was only 2 years?
There was only 2.
My bad. Maybe
there was 3.
An impressionable time in my life.
Maybe there was 3. I don't know. I don't remember actually. But I think there was only 2.
I mean, it's important once you have to spend your own money though. So maybe it was a big deal.
Oh, that's true. Oh, if you have to buy your own movie tickets?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I went to the movies before I could buy my own movie tickets. So that doesn't really count either.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving on.
Moving on.
Charles Wallace. Oh, this is what he said. He said, dinner with you guys is awesome. I would do it again in a second.
Thanks, Charles.
Sir Sneaker Pimp says, new addition to the family, a 2002 75 vintage reissue Fender, crafted in Japan, jazz bass in natural, maple fingerboard, maple what? FB?
Fingerboard, yep.
Yeah, pearloid block inlays,
'Cause it's a
original
jazz
Fender USA Electronics. So cool, it's vintage twice.
Dude, that is cool. And yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool, especially if it has American parts in it. A lot of those did there's a crossover period where that happened. What year did he say? In 02. Huh. Interesting. That's cool. Yeah, I like jazz basses. I think they're neat.
Charles
like the necks.
Wallace says, Housed did? Anyway, how did Waylon Jennings get any tone out of his telly that was wrapped in leather? Just saying. Thanks.
It was tone leather. It was tone leather. It just goes to show you can make a guitar out of just about anything and make it sound somehow.
Somehow?
Yeah, it'll sound a way, and that way will be a cool thing, and that's why comparing all of it's dumb. Like, if that guitar sounds good, I unboxed that new carbon fiber acoustic, and somebody in the comments is like, as I predicted, it sounds like crap, and I'm like, compared to what? It has a cool sound. Does it sound like a D35 Martin? No. But it's very neat. Like, it's its own thing. I don't understand why why a guitar has to sound like another guitar. Otherwise, you would just have that guitar. Like, you should have this one and that one, and they should not sound the same. My opinion.
It's Victoria G. A guitar sounds better when it's played. If a guitar is 12 pounds, I'm not going to pick it up. So it sure won't be played. Therefore, it doesn't sound better.
I mean, right? Like, if you're not going to play it, exactly. That's
kind of sounds like nothing.
Sounds, yes. Good point. Thank you for bringing that up. Like that a lot. I like the way you think. People get on to me for being snarky, and I'm like, see, that's what I'm saying. They get it. But that's why she's here. Or they're here.
Yuri Mendez, I don't care
Yuri.
what famous people say about guitar. That's exactly what I believe. People seem to forget they can't do what Derek Trucks can, LOL. People need to figure stuff out by themselves.
The thing is I can do stuff Derek Trucks can't do. Like, drive with the windows down without getting my hair tangled up.
I can't.
But Derek Trucks can't either. I can say, I don't have to listen to Susan Tedeschi speak. I don't like her voice. I can do a lot of things that Derek Trucks can't do. And you're a person, which means you can do stuff that he can't do too. So that's what I think. I think that though trying to be like another guitar player to that extent is pointless anyway. I think you just find your own way. Inspired
I think
by...
that was the tone that they were saying too.
I know. Yeah. Being inspired by him is cool. I was listening to something.
So specific.
And it was a musician. And they were talking about how, or maybe you were telling me this about John Mayer. But I don't think so. I think it was Ice Cube. Talking about
Those
how...
are way different.
Well, yeah, but not really. Because he was talking about how you don't listen to a person and then try to be exactly like them. You hear what you hear and how it inspires you as a person, and then you go make the music based on how you were inspired by that other person. You don't go and like carbon copy them. Unless your Gret is on fleek. Then you sound exactly like Led Zeppelin.
I mean, to be fair, I've never listened to any of their music that wasn't on the radio.
It sounds like that.
All of it.
Kinda. Yeah. But
They play big shows. Somebody likes them.
Yeah, well, they're really good. They're really good. That dude's a really good guitar player. Very good guitar player. I just don't like his voice. Because I don't know why you have to try to sound like Robert Plant.
What if he just sounds like that?
He might.
Like, maybe that's how he,
Maybe he
you
might.
sound just like this. You should try this.
He might.
I mean,
That's
it's
true.
way more fun to sing with music that you can sing.
That's true.
Maybe he just sounds like that.
Well, obviously he does, because he sounds like that on all his records. I don't know why I brought up Greta's on Fleek, but that's that's the only band I can think of that's modern right now that really sounds like somebody else. Everybody else is very inspired by, but they don't sound exactly the same.
Well, most of the time, if you listen to things people are inspired by, it's not even the genre they play in.
No, that's true. There's a lot of country players that are like super metalheads, for example. Yep.
All right.
Next.
Sovereign. Would you say the spectrum of guitar pickups is one end single coil and the other end humbuckers, and every guitar company is trying to find the balance between these two?
No. That's a really interesting question, though. We just did this video. That's a really cool question. It sounds super basic, but there's a lot there. It's really cool. So, we just did this thing where we had a Strat pickup and a Tele pickup and talked about the difference in. There's so many dimensions in a humbucker, and there's so many dimensions in a single coil. And honestly, a P90 is hotter than a PAF. Completely different coil shape. I am more fascinated. I'll just say how I approach things. I am more fascinated by coil shape than I am about whine count. And definitely, I do not 100% do not care ever about DC resistance. DC resistance is the first thing everybody measures. It's the last thing I measure. If I'm designing something, I just as soon listen to how it sounds and then measure it. I don't care about that number whatsoever. I care about how it sounds, and I do more work with coil dimension than I do with whine count and wire type and coating type and all that kind of stuff. That's where I'm at. And I'm also has to do a lot with how we wind the coil, like how tight it is, the physical properties of the coil, not the electrical measurements that result from it. A lot of people will go the other direction where they will shoot for electrical measurements to get a sound, and I'm a physical properties of the pickup then electrical measurements. With sound still being the same goal, obviously, because you want it to sound a certain way, but I don't know that I've ever actually said that out loud. That I don't, which is interesting. I don't think I've ever said that out loud. I don't care about electrical measurements until afterwards. That's to me, electrical measurements are documentation for just knowing. Coil dimension and wire thickness and that kind of stuff.
Coil dimension the same as like coil dimension?
Is where it's at for me. Well, this is one pickup, this is two pickups. Just kidding, I don't know.
I had
That's
really
a really
random
interesting
thought.
question. I like that question.
So the other day we were talking about how long we've been doing this. This is how my brain works, y'all. But somebody just brought up, and we didn't talk about it, Sinead O'Connor.
Mm-hmm.
But then it made me think, like, wait, have we been doing this since we used to do that radio show? When I used to do the news?
Yeah.
So it has been a really long time ago.
Yeah.
Because we used to talk about things like that. Like what happened in the news and new music.
When
like
we were
that was
doing
something I
that
covered.
radio show on that other podcast.
And then I think that rolled into, let's just keep doing it.
Me and you just keep doing it together. Yeah.
I don't know why that just made me think.
Because we did it in our old house.
Yeah.
Together.
Yeah.
So it probably was 2015 or 16.
Anyway, I would have disagreed. You know, I was like, there's no way I've been doing it this long. And then I just saw that question, and for some reason I was like, oh, wait.
It'll come up in my memories sometimes on Facebook.
Because we would take
Because we
those
like
selfies.
take a selfie,
Yeah.
like getting ready to do the podcast, and it was definitely. And looking at like what guitars were around and what hat I was wearing and what you can always tell like how long ago it's been, and what gear I had. Like before the first Kemper, like before like Fuchs days, long time ago.
Huh.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Pretty neat.
Really random. Sorry, y'all.
Yeah. We've been doing this a long time.
All right. Van Shank Guitars said, I just pulled the trigger on a classic vibes 70s jazz bass just because I need something to test jazz bass pickups on.
I feel that I buy guitars quite often just for the purpose of testing something. Yep.
Gary Simmons says, what about, quote, alien guitar players? People with skills that defy expectations. Who would that be for you?
Somebody when I watch them, I'm just like completely in awe.
You know what? I'm not a guitar player, but you know what fascinates
Who is it?
me? No, I don't know.
Go ahead.
I could probably name a person, but I'm not going to. So most people play like fingers, right? And even people that are really into it, like you can see the aggression.
Yep.
Like, but there are a lot of people that just look like they're like babying, but they can still play. That is amazing to me. Like how they get the same sounds out without looking like they put any effort in. And that is fascinating to me.
So that's exactly what I was about to say. The thing that impresses me is when I'm watching a guitar player and their hands go like this and all this stuff comes out and you're like, I don't know how, like there's a disconnection with what you think these hands should be doing for as much as coming out of the guitar. And there are two people that immediately come to mind for me. One, nobody knows except for me and you. And one, everybody knows. The one everybody knows is Tommy Emmanuel.
Okay.
I watch him and I'm just like, I can't even.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
we've seen him live, right?
Yes. And Keith Peterson.
Keith is who I was thinking of too.
He's a local guy to us.
Yeah.
And he's the same way. He's just, his hands just go like this and just songs just.
And he doesn't have that weird guitar like he doesn't do any of that stuff.
No.
He just plays. And you're like, did that just come out of his guitar? Like,
and he will show up with a $300 something with the crappiest pickups you've ever seen, playing through the... I mean, he's bought some amps from me, so I know now he has some good amps. But when I first met him, he had the crappiest gear.
Because he doesn't care.
Because he doesn't care. And he is the best guitar player in probably a 200-mile radius. Yeah. Like, the dude is unbelievable. And he was 21 years old. The other person to me like that is the Polyphia, Tim Henson.
Yeah, for sure.
Tim Henson is that way for me too. I watch him and I'm just like, how does this happen to me? How does this happen? All these notes come out and it just blows my mind. There's
again a very elegant movement. Like
yes,
same thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very elegant movement. Yes. And he's just a very yes. And I think I'm fascinated on a technical aspect of those players more than like the classic rock kind of, dad rock bendy bend people. I don't know. I used to watch Joe Satriani and Steve Vai, and they were kind of the same for me too. But music has evolved since then, and so you look at somebody like Tim Henson, and you just, I don't know, he's just an unbelievable player. He doesn't have enough soul. Whatever.
So Timothy Potter says Steve Vai has a good chance of being an alien.
Oh, true.
Gary Simmons says Tosin Abasi.
Yep.
Is on another planet.
Yep.
So is Charles Berthoud on bass.
I've not heard of him.
Jason Gale says, what about Billy Strings?
I'm a Billy Strings fan in the respect that I think he's really cool, and I like, but I don't like his music that much. I don't connect with his music that much. He's too close to classic rock for me. I don't care about classic rock anymore. I'm kind of just over it. So when you go backwards in your music style, it's harder for me.
Charles Wallace says Scotty Anderson. He has a song where all 5 fingers are on the fretboard. Krager says Nuno is amazing too.
Oh, that's another one.
Vox Guitars Rock says Al Di Meola. Graham Campbell. Graham Campbell. Says Gary Moore.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Curtis Chavez. Tony Bennett, too. Tony Bennett and Sinead O'Connor. But yeah, that's a lot in a week, huh?
Somebody just said that. Nuno Betancourt.
Yeah.
He's another one. We were this is probably 3 weeks ago. I think there was I think you were sitting there doing something on your iPad, and I literally was on YouTube in the living room for probably 2 hours watching.
I think that was a lot longer than 3 weeks ago, but yeah.
Whatever, maybe a couple months ago. Anyway, just sitting, I'll do this. I'll go down this whole rabbit hole of a particular guitar player. This week it was
And then you'll remember something, and then you'll go like, oh,
what about this other thing? Yeah. Yeah. This week it was Candlebox and Seven Mary 3. And it was because I wanted to understand their guitar gear because I really love both of those bands' guitar tone. Come to find out, they play like hilarious gear. And I was like, what? Candlebox played Roland JCM 120s and Music Man's. A Les Paul and a Les Paul special with P90s in it. And then Seven Mary 3 I knew was a Gibson into a Marshall and a Telly into a Fender, but I didn't know which guitars were doing what parts. Those are 2 of my favorite bands from that era.
And Just Nine said Buckethead for sure.
Oh yeah. See, but the thing is,
Did we see him too?
Yeah, we've seen him a couple times. And the thing about him though, so you get into those full shreddy guys, and I don't know, maybe you're right. He is just some bonkers guitar player. He's bonkers.
Jeffrey Egan said, people that can play chords and melodies at the same time blow my mind.
Yes. So there's where, when I was a kid, Stevie Ray Vaughan was my number 1 guitar hero because that, and I'm not near, so this is an excellent example of, I don't try to sound like Stevie Ray, I never will, I'm not good. I'm not that good. But if you ever listen, if you pay attention to what I'm playing, it's usually a rhythm and lead over itself. It's never a lead part by itself or just a rhythm part by itself. And that was my inspiration from Stevie Ray. We're going to be doing some acoustic guitar videos because I've got these carbon fiber guitars and you'll hear it way more. I play acoustic guitar way different than I play electric guitar. And you'll hear that way more on an acoustic guitar, that I'll have leads and rhythms intermingled with each other the whole time.
All right, I have 21 things marked and 12 minutes.
Oh, that's so. Lightning round.
Raw. There's that R-A-W-L. Raw. Hello, Leslie and Dylan. It's me again. I'd like to, I don't know. What is the difference between Bridge Super 8 and Center Punch 8? Is one better at split coiling? Is one hotter than the other?
Center Punch is going to be hotter because it is wound hotter. It is better at split coiling. The Super 8 is basically a DAF with an Alnico 8 pickup magnet in it.
Yuri Mendez says, I have a cheap Strat and I'd like to mod it with P90s. Do you recommend 3 or 2 pickups? Do I position them just like the S coils, or I get a holeless pick guard and do it by myself?
You order a loaded pick guard from me, and we just send you the thing, and you just drop it in. And I would do 2 pickups, not 3 with P90s. It's just kind of too much.
Timothy Potter, what brand and style of guitar would aliens play? Would they rock it?
They would play.
What does Def Leppard play? That's what I think of when I
Rock
hear rock.
Phil Collin plays. I forget what he plays. Some normal guitar.
Normal. Y'all, we saw a DJ the other day at this market, and he did a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But the one I remember was Def Leppard and Eminem.
That was good.
It was so good.
Yeah. Next.
Okay. T-Bone. Good evening, DNL. Hey, Dylan. Do you think the Fender Players Series Strats are on par with the former American Standard Series?
No. Nope. The American guitars are worth the money right now. Just get them. They are.
Patrick Hardy. What would your P90 pickup sound like with coil tap?
We've done it. It is not as a big of a step as people think. I personally don't think it's worth the time and trouble. We've done it, but I charge you an extra $30 to do it, but I don't think it's worth it. I think you just leave it alone. They get clean enough. You don't need it.
Krager says, I like your down-to-earth style and practical advice. If I like a guitar, it's usually because of the neck shape and how it looks. I can shape the sound with an EQ. Let me try that again. Sassy Cat.
Hey, man.
I purchased a loaded Noventa Strat pickguard to drop in an old Strat body with a swimming pool route.
Oh, cool.
Rusty Fenders, what do you think of the Ventera 70s Telecaster Custom? They are 20% off and it's tempting me.
Those are cool guitars. I like that Ventera stuff. I thought it was good. A lot of people didn't, but I liked it. Super chat from Jason Gale. Thank you for the super chat. I do not see a question or thought. We can grab his previous thought and then I'll pay attention to see if you share something else. He said, R.I.P. Stevie Ray Vaughan. When I was 18, I was a security guard outside the club. One of his last shows at the Statue Civic here from outside, but what a freaking sound. Oh, wow. That's really neat, man.
And here's a serious question, he says.
Okay.
He gets a double. He says, oops. My serious question is, how do I make my pickups or my guitar, whatever, produce sound at 1.9 hertz and 1.1 gigahertz? I mean 1.61 gigahertz?
I don't know. That's a radio frequency, so I'm not sure.
I don't know anything about that. Thank you for the super chat, Jason.
Yes.
Maybe somebody in the comments can help you.
I think
That's very specific.
Very specific, and outside of radio is, I mean, I know some stuff, but.
Huh. I've never seen any question like that either. It's Victoria G says, okay, best aliens are Alf and the Xenomorph. Leapshin, Dylan, give us your out of this world pedal board setup.
A Kemper. I don't really have one. I don't care about pedals that much. That being said, I'm building another. I've got a pedal board down here, and I've got another one that I'm building right now. You'll see that in a video coming out soon. So you'll get my idea. I will include some of my favorite things in that video, but I don't have a. It would be very simple.
Leapshin also says Alf was the funniest TV show in the 80s. And his picture is, who's that guy? He's some kind of...
That's, Muppet.
He's a Muppet too?
Mm-hmm. Mr. Speaker. Me. He says that.
Oh my gosh. Jeffrey Egan says Paul was a better alien movie than E.T., although I've never seen E.T. What is Paul?
I don't know. Don't know.
What was... So there was some kind of production company at the end of like a bunch of Nickelodeon shows, and it would be like a, hi, I'm Paul. Like, that's how it ended the show. Like, I remember that. Anyway, that's what Paul reminds me of when I see it like that. Jason Gale says, I drew a picture of the ET I encountered almost a year ago. Probably why I have cancer. The time frame is about right.
Oh, wow. Dude.
That's wild.
I applaud your sense of humor.
William Olivas. Is removing a tone pot the same as leaving it in set to 10, 0? Or am I losing some color by taking it out? Thanks for your show.
You are gaining color by taking it out, and yes, you can hear it when it is on 10. That is why people will put a no-load tone pot in your guitar, which is another alternative. If you put in a no-load tone pot, that will make it to where it's like it's not even in the guitar when it's on 10, and then you just kind of click it a little bit off of 10, and then it will be there.
Kreger. ZZ Top has the awesome fuzzy guitars with a spinning mechanism, and they all sound the same because their tech sets the EQ rack for every guitar to sound alike.
Yep. Yeah, their rig is really bonkers, actually.
Doc Siltonen says, my 1978 Les Paul Custom is around 12 pounds. It sounds great. And it's a boat anchor. Two completely unrelated things, in my opinion. I'm not playing 3-hour gigs anymore, so it doesn't matter a bit.
Yep. My Les Paul's a little on the heavy side too, but I don't care. I love it.
It's Victoria G said, ha, that's a good point. I can ride in a convertible without my hair getting tangled, but Brian May can't.
Exactly.
Rob F says, somebody should design a guitar strap that ties into the waist belt to better distribute a heavy guitar's weight. Kind of like a backpack belt.
They have that. I've seen that before, actually. Yeah.
James Howell says, Dylan, often folks ask about the Reverend bass contour pot on your channel. Precision Music Technologies makes a tone pot that can switch between the high pass or low filter. Send that way when asked.
Interesting. Yeah, I've not heard of that or seen that. That's cool. I did not know that was a thing.
It's Victoria G. Dylan, you'd be surprised. The Brian May Red Special fans on Facebook want to nail the exact tone, even obsessing over the masking tape wrapped around the bridge end of the one string. Too much for me.
I know. There's always somebody, right? There's always somebody. I just don't understand it. I think if I wanted an exact replica of it so that I could have it and hang it in my house, that's one thing, and because that would be cool. But I know that I'll never sound like him, so I don't care to go to that. I mean, if I could have like a historically correct something, you know.
Jason Gill said it's not a joke, dude. So he's not laughing about his alien experience and why he has cancer.
Oh.
You said he has a sense of humor, but I think maybe he...
No, I don't mean that. I just mean that he seems that he can... Good
spirits might be better...
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
I was thinking that. I was like, man, he's in the hospital. He's here.
Doc says, I no longer have to worry about my hair when driving with the windows down. So he cut his hair. I didn't know that.
Yep. Yeah.
He said, I really needed a change.
The last time we were hanging out on Zoom, he...
I didn't know.
Yep. I cut my hair too. Really short on the sides.
Rob F said, my hair's in a race. Bald or gray? Which comes first? All right. 8:59. I think I got everything. Beaker. People are talking about Beaker.
Yep.
Paul was a movie with Seth Rogen, if I recall, is what Ivan said.
No idea.
Rusty said, have you played the Fender Powercaster with a P90 in the neck and humbucker in the bridge? 24 and 3/4 scale.
I have not.
75 scale. How am I supposed to say it again?
24 and 3/4. It's fine. Oh. Or 24 and 7/5. It's fine. any way you want.
Liebchen, that was on here earlier, says, I'm off, guys. I have to bury my mom in the morning. She died last week.
Aw.
Thanks for the distraction. It was very much appreciated.
Sorry to hear that, and I'm glad that you were able to hang out with us tonight and have some fun.
All right.
Cool. We've got one question over here, and then we need to get into our off-topic.
Oh, Paul McNary's here. He said, wow, Doc, we won't recognize you. Paul, I thought I was going to see you on Texas Toast because they kept talking about Paul, and Dylan's like, I think Paul's there. And I just thought it was going to be you.
It was a different Paul.
And it wasn't you. But you're here, so hello, Paul. All right, ready?
Yep.
Whoops, just kidding. Ivan. Here's a topic for after hours talk tonight. Dude swears under oath that U.S. government officials have non-human biological remains, ETs, and documents stating that aliens have been visiting Earth for quite some time. Who's dude?
It's one of these people on they're testifying in front of Congress.
Is he one of the retired military dudes, or is this a different dude?
No, there's a few of them. Yeah, did we just get something? I am very curious. You can take that down because we're
This is the topic.
Yeah.
Vox Guitars Rock says, I'm not going bald. I'm taller than my hair.
I've heard that before.
I've never heard that. I mean, I don't know any.
Yeah, so what have you heard in the last few days about any of this stuff?
Okay, one moment.
Oh, Tony Leonardi.
Yeah, Tony Leonardi left a super sticker. Thank you, Tony. It says, lemon character waving his arm to say hello with his mouth open.
Oh, that's a lemon. See, I would not have known that was a lemon until... Oh, I guess I would have. I would have figured that out.
A lemon head with a body?
Yeah. So what have you heard about the aliens in the last couple of days? And what have you heard? I want to get into that.
I've not looked into it. I've only heard what I've seen highlights of. That it's coming up, people are testifying in front of Congress, and I've seen, there's some retired military people that are really angry that this stuff has not been addressed previously, and national security, why are we not worried about our airspace from a defense point of view? And that's really all I know. I've not read or looked at anything in detail.
It is a big deal.
Yeah.
There are people pretty upset about it. And what's really funny is, I don't know. I probably shouldn't say it because I don't want to get all into politics, but old people just don't understand stuff.
Meaning, yeah, so the fact of, we did talk about this too, the Senate body that we have, having to make decisions on things like national security for one, and an unknown new topic seemingly to them, and things like AI, why are they making these decisions?
And like I said, I don't want to get all, because that could go all down a politics rabbit hole, and I don't want to do that here, but I just feel like every time these people get up there, and say, I'm concerned about this thing. There's a thing flying around, and they're like, that was terrible. That's my impression of an old man.
I feel like you should have a cane, the Simpsons guy.
Yeah, exactly. That's the guy. That's exactly the guy. And I'm like, come on, man. No, we want to know. I want to know. So last week or the week before, because people always ask me about these weird things, and I'm like, I don't care until somebody comes up with something real. Now I'm like, okay, just show me the stuff, man. I just want to see the stuff. Because if you have stuff, if you have non-human whatever remain thing, what did he say? Because he sent it to me too, privately.
Who?
Ivan. He said, I got it right here. He said, The U.S. government has non-human biological remains.
Yeah, it said that in the comment.
But non-human biological remains could not necessarily be extraterrestrial.
I mean, can it be like an animal?
It could be Bigfoot.
That's funny.
Maybe this is a roundabout, backwards way to find out that Bigfoot is real. Or the Loch Ness Monster. Or maybe it's just a mammoth from Alaska. I mean, I don't know.
Van Shan Guitar says, thing is, if alien technology is so advanced, why are they crashing everywhere?
Fair point. And I think somebody
Thanks for the super chat.
Yes,
Ivan,
thank you,
I'm
Ivan.
sorry.
And somebody actually brought up the point too, like, if they're so awesome, then why are they letting us catch them on camera?
Because they know we have crappy cameras.
But we don't. Only crappy. Look, we're only going to let you catch us on crappy cameras.
I mean, why don't we have good footage then, do we? I don't even know.
That is my point. Even though every friggin' person on the planet has a cell phone in their pocket that has, like, I can take a picture of the moon. But you cannot take a picture of something.
All right, let's see what people are saying that are actually paying attention.
Yes.
Rob F. says, I watched extracts from today's hearings. I found it interesting that none of the testimonials were first person. All of the witnesses were relaying stories they heard from others. I didn't think you could do that. I guess it's not court, so you can do that.
Yeah, it's not court. That's interesting. And that is true a lot of the time.
Doc Stilson said, I think it's a statistical impossibility that we are the only form of life in such a vast universe, but I have yet to see anything to prove it to me. Fair.
I think that's probably exactly where I'm at. 100% right where I'm at. I'm pretty sure there is a thing, but just like, I don't know, knock. Hey man, call me. Like,
what up?
Yeah. Shoot me a text. Maybe they're in the comment section right now.
Curtis Chavez says he was an alien. He said that earlier. He said, I am the alien.
Oh, okay.
But Ivan also says right now he's in New York, but he's English, so it's fine. Alien.
Wait, Ivan so he is an alien because he's over here right now, but he's from Canada. Yeah.
Rusty said, a whistleblower claims we are creating, quote, aliens in an underground base in Australia to create a false flag event, creating a one world government.
Okay. I mean,
I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, I got some pretty good tinfoil. Like that.
Like, as good as the mafia was at taking people out, like, how would a whistleblower for something that would be that controversial get away with it? Like, why are they not?
I would have to see that in a movie first.
It probably exists.
I mean, if you think about it, all of the technology that we have, all of the alien stuff, whatever you want to call it, it basically originated in sci-fi, and then we got it in real life. So, is it the other way around, though? Are people making movies to, like, divert us from the real thing, and really these things are happening? Or are we just fantasizing about a thing that's not actually real and putting it in a movie, which I think is probably more realistic? But until that scenario comes out in a movie where I can, like, comprehend that could actually happen, then I'm not with that one. I don't have enough tinfoil.
Box Guitars Rock says, if alien tech is so amazing, I wonder what tone would they use in their guitars.
Right? I mean, every alien movie I've ever seen, they don't dress very good. And everything's cold and everything's sharp. Like, there's no chamfered edges. Like, the machine work isn't very good. Like, I mean, I've seen Transformers. Like, everything is, like, kind of crude. Like we already have better machine shops than Transformers. You know, or even except for Terminator, because Terminator 2, the blobby guy that could get shot and then his head could come back together, whatever that guy's called, I forget. He has a number. He was pretty cool. But
you want to hear some more?
Sure.
Gary Simmons says, I have no doubt that the government knows a lot more about UAPs and whatnot than they let the public know. Okay, I just have to say, because you said UAPs, we saw like a headline news the other night and I was like, did they really just
Don't say
that?
headline news, because that makes people think that we watch a particular network that we don't watch.
Oh, is that a brand of news?
Yeah.
It was like, I don't even know what it was. We saw a
It was
headline.
on television.
Yeah, it was on television. Anyway, they were talking about UAPs, but it said UAPs, and then they would literally
unidentified air, whatever.
No, they wouldn't say it. They just said it was a UAP, and then they said every time they referred to it, though, they would say UFO, and I was like, that was a bad mix-up.
They were
and
saying
then
the
did
UAP name out.
And then they would
unidentified
say UFO.
Aerial
phenomenon.
This is an unidentified aerial phenomenon known as a UFO. They kept saying
They
it.
wouldn't say known as. It was just like, that's what they abbreviated it. Even though
like,
that...
Dude.
Oh, you're right. So it was the word.
Yeah, they were saying...
And then they would say UFO, and I'm like...
No, that's UAP. Dummy.
That doesn't match.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, it was really funny. Travis McCartney says, look, there are trillions of stars and billions of planets, and with that many tries, it seems statistically impossible that Earth is the only planet hosting life. Marcia Murray says, from a defense point of view, if aliens can get here, then they could squash us like a bug if they wanted.
I mean, we've seen the movies.
Jason Gale says, I remember, I think it was maybe a year ago, maybe not quite that, I first noticed that you guys were talking about UFOs on your show, and I had posted after I watched it the next day.
Oh, interesting.
Is that how you found us?
No, I've known him a long time.
Okay, I was like, what?
Yeah. I don't know why it keeps coming up, but
well, it's
fascinating.
Fox Guitars Rocks. I hope the Canadian government doesn't think there's life on other planets, or they will start sending them billions of tax dollars. Rob F. says, having grown up and spent most of my life in the DC metro area, I firmly believe our government is incapable of keeping a secret such as alien bodies or hardware.
So this is another thing that I have been thinking about. Like, I mean, every time you turn on the TV, it's... I mean, these people cannot, like, whatever. And again, I'm not even trying to make a political statement. I'm just like, I cannot imagine having a conversation with you that would make any sense. So how can you be that strategic about whatever you're thinking about? You know, I don't know. Or maybe Elon is the alien and he has his children. Oh, that's why he's having so many kids. Because they're all aliens.
James Howell says, anything coming from the ocean looks like an alien. That's where they live.
It's true. It is true. Especially the deep stuff. Like, if you ever watch those documentaries about, like, really, really deep stuff, those things look crazy.
Weird guy, metal man. What if it's Earth tech, just not human? Jason Gale says, Dylan, you are indigenous tribe blood in you. What if I told you the pilot of those spherical lights are also indigenous travel persons come back to save the Earth?
I have heard a lot of native-based... I don't subscribe to it personally. I'm just be very frank about that. But I have heard a lot of native-based space return, like that kind of stuff. I've heard that before.
This, I think, was in relation to the crashing they were talking about is Victoria G said, they're not the adults, they're the teenage aliens stealing the spacecraft for a joyride.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
It's like alien DUIs.
Raw says UFO pilots don't necessarily need to be from outer space or other planets. Maybe they live here on Earth, but in other planes or dimensions, and they can access our side thanks to their technology.
Ooh,
the upside down.
The upside down. Mm-hmm. But isn't it interesting that all of the fantasy stuff and all of, so you bring up the upside down, that all of the fantasy, all of the sci-fi, all of the fiction stuff is our brains trying to comprehend the possibility of this. We spend a lot of time as a species trying to comprehend the possibility of.
Yeah, but the idea has to
Yes.
come from somewhere. So
Right. Mm-hmm.
there is an origin and there are thoughts.
That's
behind
what's
it. Yeah.
really interesting. That's why it's interesting.
Yeah. Van Shank Guitar says you have to admit though that we humans are the best looking aliens out there.
Some of us.
Raw. Also,
7 of 9 was hot, by the way.
What?
And she was a Borg. Moving on.
raw. I have to say it again. You did that on purpose. Also, why are they crashing lately? Is that on purpose? I don't think we have the technology to take them down.
I don't know. I'm interested to know what technology is out there that we don't know about because I know it exists. Because I know a guy and he said so.
Does Jason Gill know you?
I don't know.
So Dylan, you need to follow your sister and reconnect with your trap, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Rusty said private industry might be the ones keeping the secrets. Jeffrey Egan said Elon Musk looks like an alien.
He sounds like one too when he talks.
Daniel Morris says, I think humans are animals that were infected with alien DNA. And then I think it's Rusty brought up the Las Vegas stuff again, and I never did look that up.
No, we need to.
I feel like it was a topic for a minute, and then we started talking.
I heard about it in a
stuff.
podcast, but I didn't.
And now it's come up again, so maybe I need to sit and read about some aliens tonight.
I don't know. It seems to dominate our off-topic hour a lot. What's funny about it is I don't really care that much. I haven't cared that much until this week. Like,
I mean, I do wish there was transparency. Like, if
Yeah.
there is something, I wish they would just say it. Like,
yeah, I saw somebody post today. Actually, it was a friend of mine post today that he's like, somebody owes Bob Lazar an apology because Bob Lazar is the guy that worked at Area 51 and
that nobody believed.
That nobody believed. Have you ever watched that documentary with me?
I feel like yes.
It's real good. Yeah.
Let's see.
I mean, this is what everybody comes for.
Well, then you should have better stuff to talk about. It's only 18 after.
All right. Oh, we should tell them, speaking of technology, that sucks. Oh, we need to tell them about tickets, too. I mentioned it the other day, but a totally different crowd. So, we bought tickets to George Strait. But that's not why I'm going. I mean, I like, whatever. It's cool. He's a hero of country music that would be awesome to see before he's dead. But Willie Nelson's going to be there, and I like me some Willie Nelson. So I'm really excited to see Willie Nelson. And Carrie Underwood is there, and her guitar player is real good. And a little big town, but I don't care about that. I really care about Willie Nelson, though. So in October, we're going to go see Little Big Town, Willie Nelson, Carrie Underwood, and George Strait. All in one show in Atlanta. It's going to be awesome.
Yep.
Yep. And we're going to go see Oppenheimer on Monday night after Leslie had to... Sunday night. After Leslie had to go and fix the tickets at the theater because she ordered... Well, I bought the tickets online for Sunday. And she looks in her app and it's like, no, they're for tonight. No, we clicked on it on the right day, but we had to go to the theater and actually fix it.
Well, because then their site didn't work.
Yep.
So they have like, if you need to blah, 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 go here. And then it was like,
So,
and I went and it was, I went. And the guy who helped me, his name was Dylan.
what?
Dyllen. I was like, I've never seen that before. He was like, yeah, nobody ever spells it right. Apparently he's here because he's in the military and he's working at the movie theater. But he's like, all his paperwork is wrong. He was like, everything that the military has ever done for me has an A-N. And I was like, well, if anything ever goes sideways, you could be like, dude, that's not me.
Yep.
Anyway.
Nobody can ever spell my name right either.
I've never seen that before, though.
I've never seen an E-N.
I mean, that's kind of how you say it.
I've seen an
like
O.
Dylan. Because remember, I had
Like
well, I think I've told you this. Like, I feel like there's some people that went, and he's younger, so like, he's younger. No, his parents are probably older than me. I don't know. But I know people my age that had children, and then they like phonetically spelled their kids' names, so I could see where Dylan would end up like that. I had a friend, and I used to always joke. She's dead now, so it's probably terrible to joke. But I used to always laugh that her son's name was Zachary, and Zachary is typically like Zachary.
Mm-hmm.
Her son's name was spelled Zakkery. Like, just how you say it. Zachary. And I was like, poor girl could never spell the whole time we were in school.
Oh, that's funny. I mean, then why wouldn't you name your kid like Bob? Because then you wouldn't have to worry about it.
I don't know.
That's a pretty complicated name if you didn't know how to spell.
I mean, you just sounded it out.
I guess.
That's what you have to do. You sound it out.
Hooked on Pahonics.
All right, let's see what people are. They're like, get back on topic. I'm going to send you a super chat.
What is the super chat?
I don't know.
Hey, Jason.
Jason Gale, thank you for the super chat, Jason. He says, I don't know if you heard, but Elon Musk and NASA have joined together to go attack a comet that has a quintillion amount of gold and precious metals. I had not heard that.
I had not heard that.
Fantastic. How do you attack a comet? And how do you catch it? How do you catch a comet?
I don't know.
That's fascinating. I need to read something else.
Very fascinating. Now. Thank you for the super chat.
Attack a comet. Jay Blake's guitar. I guess they're talking about movies or tickets. I still feel uncomfortable not having a physical ticket and everything on my phone to scan. See, I'm used to, so like, I like when they let me put it in my wallet. So like the tickets we have for the concert, they're in my wallet.
Yeah, so
like,
you just go
I can
like
see
this
them.
and yep.
The movie thing was super bogus because it didn't even email me like a confirmation of any type, and it's one QR code for 5 tickets. So I think the requirement, they have all these kiosks when you walk in now, and I think you're supposed to scan your one QR code and then it spits your tickets out. But since I had to do that whole dumb exchange, and you know, that movie theater is weird. Like, you have to do everything at the concession stand. They're like all in one. They don't have a box office. So I had to stand there and smell popcorn while I'm waiting on this dude to figure out how to do this transaction. And then it gave me physical tickets, and I was like, oh gosh, I hope I don't lose these.
Yep. We're taking all the kids, so that's, yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, Gary Simmons says, I don't care much about aliens, UAPs, or whatever. Not saying never, but show me the proof. It's hard enough to keep my simple life in order. LOL. Yes.
That's kind of where I've been with it, too.
Have enough.
Yeah. And I'll be interested in it for a while, and then I won't care. You know.
Let's see. Hugh Jana says, when the government runs out of things to try and deflect people's attention. Oh, yeah. What about aliens? Yeah, so that...
What's his name? Hugh Janus?
Yeah. Hugh! I was like, wait, why did you say that?
Sorry. That's pretty awesome.
Oh my god.
I didn't see what he said.
That is how you would say that, huh?
Yeah.
Say my name faster.
It's pretty awesome.
Oh my gosh. A couple people said that though, like, what are they? Like, why are we being distracted by aliens? That's a really strange thing to, like, distract people with, though. Yeah. Or maybe it's because we're all like, this is dumb. Why are we talking about aliens?
I'm too smart for that. And my tinfoil is too thick. I have really good tinfoil.
Jeffrey Egan says, the theory is that they're releasing the alien stuff in bits and pieces as to not panic the people. I mean, if it's in the past, why would we panic?
Why would you panic? Why would you panic if it was awesome? Like, I don't know.
Box Guitars Rock says, just think of all the great knife steals we could pirate from the aliens.
Oh, I know. Some kind of crazy new metal. Well, yeah.
Krager said, I saw George Strait at Willie Nelson's birthday show.
Oh, wow. That's cool. Except Willie Nelson probably didn't play.
He didn't play at his own birthday? Maybe he got roasted.
He probably got
blazed.
Pretty blazed. I would say.
Charles Wallace says, Knife of the Night.
Spyderco PM2 in all black.
Were you inspired by the video you watched today?
I was.
Did you already have it? No. So this is funny. Jay Howler says, sometimes my wife seems like an alien because she always seems to be invading my space.
Oh, wow.
That makes you the alien.
Yeah. Yep.
Too funny. Got that. Let's see. Estuardo Maldonado says, hi Dylan, I'm a subscriber from Peru.
Cool.
Krager says, we have hit a comet with a probe, but landing and mining? Yeah, that's fascinating.
Yeah, I've seen movies about that, so they must be able to do it.
Jeffrey Egan said, to catch a comet, you have to sneak up on it and grab it by the tail.
Oh, is that what it is? That would make sense. Yeah, grab it by the tail. Is everybody pretty aliened out?
Jason Gill says, I know a guy that works for one of the companies that builds flying discs for the federal government, and he told me they've been building them since 1910.
What are these flying discs for?
Like frisbees? No.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, what is a flying disc for? Remember aerobies?
Oh, Jason Gill said, you mentioned it that your sister was way more into it than you, and you were...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually talked to her after that about some stuff because I was trying to learn some things, and she didn't know either. So I've been looking into some stuff. Yep. All that stuff passed down by like non-written history is really hard because those people aren't around anymore. So it's hard to...
Yeah, and if somebody passed something down to me that I had to remember, it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
I had to write it down.
Yep.
They're like, remember this, don't write it down. And be like, just don't even tell me.
Don't even tell me. I don't even want to know. Well, you guys, it's been fun. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We, about an hour and a half, huh? No video tomorrow, but I will have one on Monday.
And we'll be traveling next week when you see us.
We'll be traveling next week.
I don't know where we'll be.
We will be, next Thursday's show will be from somewhere.
Yeah.
Because we're going to be on our way to Colorado by then. So, for our $9,000 Strat workshop and for the $400 guitar building contest. So if you've not heard of that, yeah, not in that order. So if you've not heard of that stuff, know that there's going to be a bunch of content around that and a bunch of guitar building stuff over the next couple of weeks because we're going to be out there shooting a lot of content. So, pretty cool. Thanks for hanging out. We will see you all Monday.